Sunday, June 14th, 2026. Today's World News Headline Summary. 1. CNN. 1-1. The U.S. and Iran appear to be closing in on an agreement. The United States and Iran are reportedly making significant diplomatic strides, signaling a potential shift in Middle Eastern geopolitics. Sources indicate that the two nations might sign a memorandum of understanding as early as Sunday in Geneva, although they present conflicting details regarding the framework. Despite this cautious optimism, the region remains volatile as military skirmishes persist. The U.S. military recently intercepted a fresh wave of attack drones attempting to disrupt commercial shipping near the Strait of Hormuz. As one official vividly noted, an agreement has never been closer, highlighting the paradoxical nature of simultaneous diplomacy and deterrence. These developments reflect a delicate attempt to manage tensions before resuming broader negotiations. Vocabulary. Stride. Noun. 진전, 발전. The scientists have made huge strides in cancer research. Framework. Noun. 뼈대, 체제, 틀. The negotiators agreed on the basic framework of the treaty. Optimism. Noun. 낙관론. There is a growing sense of optimism about the economic recovery. Volatile. Adjective. 변동성이 큰, 불안정한. The political situation in the region remains highly volatile. Skirmish. Noun. 소규모 접전, 충돌. Minor border skirmishes were reported early this morning. Intercept. Verb. 가로채다, 요격하다. The defense system intercepted the incoming missiles. Disrupt. Verb. 방해하다, 지장을 주다. The protest was organized to disrupt the flow of traffic. Paradoxical. Adjective. 역설적인. It is a paradoxical situation where more wealth brings less happiness. Simultaneous. Adjective. 동시의. There were simultaneous attacks on multiple military bases. Deterrence. Noun. 억지, 억제력. Nuclear weapons act as a deterrence against foreign attacks. 시사용어 해설. MOU. Memorandum of Understanding. 양해각서. 정식 조약이나 계약을 맺기 전 양측이 합의한 기본적인 내용을 문서로 남기는 것을 말합니다. 법적 구속력은 약할 수 있으나 국가 간의 외교에서는 상호 신뢰를 확인하는 중요한 첫 단추 역할을 합니다. Strait of Hormuz, 호르무즈 해협. 중동의 페르시아만과 오만만을 연결하는 좁은 바닷길입니다. 전 세계 석유 운송량의 상당 부분이 이곳을 통과하기 때문에 이 해협이 봉쇄되거나 불안정해지면 전 세계 경제와 유가에 치명적인 영향을 미칩니다.
1-2. SpaceX IPO makes Elon Musk world's first trillionaire, following the initial public offering, IPO, of SpaceX. The company's highly anticipated listing on the U.S. stock market propelled his net worth beyond the $1 trillion mark. This successful market debut strongly underscores the immense investor confidence in the lucrative future of commercial space exploration and off-planet infrastructure. As financial analysts observe, this monumental event reshapes the boundaries of global wealth creation. Consequently, the IPO is expected to fiercely accelerate competition among private tech giants striving to dominate the aerospace sector. Vocabulary. Unprecedented. Adjective. 존내 없는. The pandemic caused unprecedented disruptions to global trade. Milestone. Noun. 이정표. 중요한 단계. Reaching 1 million sales was a major milestone for the team. Trillionaire. Noun. 초만장자. Becoming a trillionaire requires dominating global industries. Initial public offering. Noun. 기업 공개. IPO. The tech company's initial public offering was oversubscribed. Propel. Verb. 나아가게 하다, 밀어올리다. The new invention propelled the company to global success. Underscore. Verb. 강조하다, 밑줄을 긋다. The recent crisis underscores the need for better emergency planning. Lucrative. Adjective. 수익성이 좋은, 돈벌이가 되는. Real estate can be a highly lucrative investment. Monumental. Adjective. 기념비적인, 엄청난. The team achieved a monumental victory in the final match. Accelerate. Verb. 가속하다, 촉진하다. Government grants will accelerate the development of green energy. Dominate. Verb. 지배하다, 장악하다. The multinational corporation dominates the software market. 시사용어 해설. IPO. Initial Public Offering. 기업 공개. 비상장 기업이 외부 일반 투자자들에게 처음으로 주식을 공개적으로 매도하여 자본을 조달하는 과정입니다. 기업은 막대한 자금을 확보할 수 있고 기존 주주들은 보유한 주식을 현금화할 수 있습니다. Trillionaire, 조만장자. 자산이 1조 달러를 넘는 사람을 뜻하는 용어입니다. 백만장자, millionaire, 억만장자, billionaire를 넘어선 극단적 자본 집중의 결과로 특정 빅테크 기업의 폭발적 성장이 개인의 자산 가치를 국가 예산 규모로 키운 현상을 보여줍니다.
1-3. The Kennedy Center asks for more time to remove Trump's name from its facade. The Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts has requested a deadline extension from a federal judge to complete the removal of President Donald Trump's name from its facade. Despite a strict court-ordered midnight deadline, severe thunderstorms and complicated logistics delayed the early morning uninstallation operation. To carry out the removal discreetly, workers shrouded the area with a tarp, which frustrated onlookers hoping to witness the symbolic moment. The Department of Justice, representing the center, stated that the work is actively ongoing. This contentious removal process clearly encapsulates the deep legal and cultural battles over political legacies in the United States. Vocabulary. Extension. Noun. 연장. 기한 연장. The student asked for a deadline extension for her essay. Facade. Noun. 건물의 정면. 외벽. The historical building's facade was completely restored. Logistics. Noun. 실행 계획. 물류. The logistics of moving 1,000 employees are very complex. Uninstallation. Noun. 철거. 제거. The uninstallation of the old software took a few minutes. Discreetly. Adverb. 신중하게. 남몰래. He discreetly slipped the money into her pocket. Shroud. Verb. 뒤덮다. 가리다. The mountain peak was shrouded in thick fog. Onlooker. Noun. 구경꾼. 방관자. A crowd of onlookers gathered around the accident scene. Contentious. Adjective. 논쟁을 초래하는. The new healthcare policy has become a highly contentious issue. Encapsulate. Verb. 요약하다. 압축하다. Her poem perfectly encapsulates the feeling of loneliness. Legacy. Noun. 유산. 업적. The former president left a complicated political legacy. Federal judge. 연방 판사. 미국에서 주 단위가 아닌 연방정부 차원의 헌법적, 국가적 사건을 다루는 판사입니다. 대통령의 이름 철거와 같이 국가 소유 건물 및 정치적 민감성을 띤 사안은 연방법원에 관할입니다. Political legacy. 정치적 유산. 정치인이 퇴임한 후 사회에 남기는 영향력, 정책, 그리고 상징성을 뜻합니다. 건물 외벽에 이름을 새기는 것은 권력의 가시적 상징이므로 이를 철거하는 것은 정치적 영향력의 물리적 지우기로 해석됩니다. 2. BBC. 2-1. Israel attacks Lebanon despite potential peace deal. Israel has launched extensive airstrikes across southern Lebanon, immediately following fresh forced displacement orders issued for roughly 20 locations. This relentless bombardment occurred despite simultaneous diplomatic reports suggesting a potential broader Middle East peace agreement involving the U.S. and Iran. The entrenched conflict between Israel and Hezbollah has already resulted in profound devastation and civilian casualties. Tragically, local reports confirmed that one recent strike in a Lebanese village killed 14 individuals, predominantly women and children. The jarring contrast between converging diplomatic positions and the brutal reality on the ground highlights the sheer difficulty of achieving lasting regional stability. Vocabulary. extensive. Adjective. 광범위한, 대대적인. The hurricane caused extensive damage to the coastal towns. Displacement. Noun. 살던 곳에서 쫓겨남, 이주. The war led to the mass displacement of millions of refugees. Relentless. Adjective. 끊임없는, 가차없는. Her relentless pursuit of perfection made her a great athlete. Bombardment. Noun. 폭격, 포격. The city endured heavy bombardment for 3 consecutive days. Entrenched. Adjective. 굳어진, 뿌리 깊은. Racism is a deeply entrenched problem in many societies. Profound. Adjective. 깊은, 엄청난. His speech had a profound impact on the audience. Devastation. Noun. 파괴, 황폐화. The earthquake caused widespread devastation across the region. Predominantly. Adverb. 대개, 주로. The population in this rural area is predominantly elderly. Jarring. Adjective. 삐걱거리는, 부조화스러운. There was a jarring contrast between his polite words and angry tone. Converge. Verb. 모여들다, 수렴되다. The 2 separate roads eventually converge near the bridge. 시사용어 해설. Displacement order. 대피령, 퇴거명령. 군사작전을 수행하기 전 민간인 피해를 줄인다는 명목으로 지역 주민들에게 강제로 거주지를 떠나라고 명령하는 조치입니다. 그러나 잦은 대피령은 대규모 난민, refugees, 사태를 유발합니다. 헤즈볼라. 레바논에 거점을 둔 이슬람 시아파 무장 정파 겸 정치 조직입니다. 이란의 강한 지원을 받으며 이스라엘 북부 국경에서 빈번하게 군사적 충돌을 빚어 중동 분쟁의 핵심 변수 중 하나로 꼽힙니다.
2-2. BBC documentary puts Bardia's tigers in global spotlight. A newly broadcast BBC One wildlife documentary titled Tiger Island has cast a bright global spotlight on the Bengal tigers of Nepal's Bardia National Park. The series presents extraordinary, intimate footage that fundamentally challenges long-held scientific assumptions about feline behavior. Notably, the hidden cameras captured unprecedented evidence of a female tiger assisting in the care of another tigress's cubs. This striking display of communal parenting is extremely rare among tigers, which are widely considered solitary animals. The documentary has garnered international acclaim while serving as a powerful testament to Nepal's remarkable conservation achievements in its buffer zone forests. The photographer captured intimate moments of the animals' lives. Fundamentally. Adverb. 근본적으로. The internet fundamentally changed how we access information. Assumption. Noun. 가설. 추정. Scientists are questioning previous assumptions about global warming. Unprecedented. Adjective. 전례 없는. The team achieved unprecedented success in the tournament. Communal. Adjective. 공동의, 자치단체의. They cooked meals in a communal kitchen at the hostel. Solitary. Adjective. 혼자 있는, 단독의. Tigers are generally solitary predators, unlike social lions. Garner. Verb. 정보, 지지를 얻다, 모으다. The charity campaign garnered overwhelming support from the public. Testament. Noun. 증거, 입증. The sturdy building is a testament to the architect's skill. Conservation. Noun. 자연환경, 보존, 보호. Wildlife conservation programs are essential to protect endangered species. 시사용어 해설. Buffer zone. 완충지대. 국립공원이나 자연보호구역과 일반 인간의 거주지 사이에 위치하여 양쪽의 직접적인 충돌, 밀렵, 농작물 피해 등을 완화하고 야생동물이 안전하게 서식할 수 있도록 돕는 보호 영역입니다.
커뮤널 패ren팅, 공동양육. 사자와 달리 호랑이는 원래 독립적으로 사냥하고 생활하는 동물로 solitary animals로 분류되어 왔습니다. 그러나 무리를 지어 새끼를 함께 돌보는 이례적 사회성이 관찰되며 생물학계에 새로운 연구 과제를 던졌습니다.
2-3. Police investigate theft of England equipment at World Cup. Local law enforcement authorities are actively investigating a disruptive theft involving equipment belonging to the England national football team during the 2026 World Cup. The English Football Association confirmed that the unfortunate incident occurred while the squad's belongings were being transported from a pre-training base in Florida to their permanent camp in Kansas City. Consequently, 2 individuals have been taken into police custody in connection with the crime. Due to the ongoing investigation, officials have opted to withhold specific details regarding the stolen items. This unexpected logistical breach has added an element of off-pitch drama to the Three Lions campaign. Vocabulary. Law enforcement. Noun. 법 집행기관, 경찰. Local law enforcement agencies are increasing patrols in the area. Disruptive. Adjective. 지장을 주는, 혼란을 일으키는. The disruptive behavior of a few students ruined the class. Theft. Noun. 절도, 도둑질. The store reported a significant rise in theft over the holidays. Unfortunate. Adjective. 불운한, 유감스러운. It is unfortunate that the outdoor concert was canceled due to rain. Transport. Verb. 운송하다, 수송하다. The goods are transported by train across the entire country. Custody. Noun. 유치, 구류, 법적 보호. The suspect was taken into custody for questioning by detectives. Opt. Verb. 선택하다, 고르다. She opted to stay at home rather than go to the crowded party. Withhold. Verb. 보류하다, 숨기다. The government decided to withhold the sensitive information. Logistical. Adjective. 물류에, 수송에. We faced several logistical challenges when organizing the massive event. Breach. Noun. 위반, 파괴, 선넘기. The data leak was caused by a severe security breach. 시사 용어 해설. In custody. 구금 상태. 형사사건 피의자가 재판 전이나 수사 중에 경찰서 유치장이나 구치소에 갇혀 있는 상태를 뜻하는 법률 용어입니다. Three Lions. 3사자 군단. 잉글랜드 축구 국가대표팀을 부르는 애칭입니다. 잉글랜드 축구협회 FA의 공식 로고에 국장을 상징하는 3마리의 사자가 그려져 있는 데서 유래했습니다. Number 3. ABC Australia. Number 1. Lilla Sports Festival inspires remote students in Central Australia. Children from isolated remote communities across Central Australia recently gathered for the annual Lilla Sports and Storytelling Festival, hosted in the Waterka National Park. Over the course of 3 days, approximately 40 students immersed themselves in a unique blend of cultural theater and sports, including Aussie rules football and softball. Established over a decade ago by community leaders, the festival primarily aims to promote school attendance among First Nations children by providing valuable educational incentives. For many young participants, this event represents their first ever school camp experience. By explicitly demonstrating that it's cool to go to school, the initiative effectively bridges the gap between education and community bonding. Vocabulary. Isolated. Adjective. 고립된, 외딴. The scientists lived in an isolated research station in Antarctica. Annual. Adjective. 매년에, 연례에. The company held its annual meeting to discuss future plans. Immerse. Verb. 몰두하게 하다, 푹 빠지다. She immersed herself in learning the local language and culture. Blend. Noun. 혼합, 융합. The dish features a wonderful blend of spicy and spicy flavors. Establish. Verb. 설립하다, 재정하다. The charity was established to help children in need. Attendance. Noun. 출석률. The teacher rewarded students with perfect attendance all semester. Incentive. Noun. 장려책, 동기. The bonus served as a great incentive for the sales team. Explicitly. Adverb. 명백하게, 노골적으로. The rules explicitly state that mobile phones are banned during exams. Demonstrate. Verb. 입증하다, 보여주다. The recent study demonstrates the negative effects of sleep deprivation. Initiative. Noun. 주도권, 새로운 계획. The government launched a new initiative to reduce plastic waste. 시사 용어 해설. First Nations, 원주민. 백인이 이주해오기 훨씬 전부터 호주 대륙에 살아온 원주민,
Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples,을 존중하여 부르는 공식 명칭입니다. Aussie Rules Football, 호주식 풋볼. 넓은 타워형 경기장에서 이루어지며 럭비와 축구의 요소가 결합된 호주 고유의 인기 스포츠입니다. 특히 원주민 사회에서 신체 단련과 공동체 결속을 위해 매우 장려됩니다.
3, 2, 1. 9-year-old Australian girl fatally shot by police in Pakistan. A profound tragedy has unfolded in Pakistan, where a 9-year-old Australian girl was fatally shot by local police due to a severe operational misstep. The child's untimely death has sparked intense outrage and nationwide mourning, prompting urgent demands for systemic accountability. Human rights observers are fiercely criticizing the standard operating procedures and the excessive use of deadly force by Pakistani law enforcement. Meanwhile, the grieving family continues to seek justice, publicly questioning who will be accountable for this irreversible loss. This devastating international incident has the potential to heavily strain diplomatic relations between the two countries. Vocabulary unfold. Verb. 상홍이 전개되다. The drama unfolded slowly, revealing the characters' hidden secrets. Fatally. Adverb. 치명적으로. 목숨을 앗아가게. The driver was fatally injured in the tragic car accident. Misstep. Noun. 실수. 실책. A single diplomatic misstep could lead to an international crisis. Untimely. Adjective. 때이른. 시기상조에. Her colleagues were deeply saddened by her untimely passing. Outrage. Noun. 격분. 분노. The corruption scandal caused public outrage across the entire nation. Accountability. Noun. 책임. 의무. Citizens are demanding higher transparency and accountability from politicians. Fierce. Adjective. 맹렬한. 격렬한. The proposal faced fierce opposition from environmental groups. Excessive. Adjective. 과도한. 지나친. Excessive consumption of sugar is linked to various health issues. Irreversible. Adjective. 돌이킬 수 없는. The factory pollution caused irreversible damage to the local ecosystem. Strain. Verb. 긴장시키다. 부담을 주다. The border dispute could severely strain relations between the two countries. 시사용어 해설. Fatally shot. 총격으로 사망한. Fatally는 단순히 다친 것이 아니라 생명을 앗아가는 deadly이라는 결과를 내포합니다. 영자신문에서 인명사고나 범죄를 보도할 때 희생자의 죽음을 명시하는 핵심 표현입니다. Accountability. 책임성, 책무성. 단순한 의무, responsibility를 넘어 공권력이나 정부가 시민들에게 상황을 투명하게 설명하고 해명하며 잘못에 따른 법적, 도의적 징계를 받아들이는 포괄적인 책임 구조를 뜻합니다. 3-3. Could Switzerland become the first country to restrict its population growth? Switzerland is currently facing intense domestic debate over a controversial proposal that could make it the first nation to legally restrict its population growth. Driven by right-wing political factions, the movement claims that the country is fed up with overcrowded infrastructure and severe environmental degradation caused by unchecked immigration. Supporters argue that placing a hard cap on the number of residents is essential for maintaining the nation's high standard of living. Conversely, economic experts warn that such draconian restrictions would drastically limit the foreign labor force necessary to sustain key industries. This polarizing issue perfectly illustrates the modern dilemma between ecological sustainability and economic vitality. Vocabulary. Controversial. Adjective. 논란이 많은. The new tax law proved to be highly controversial among voters. Restrict. Verb. 제한하다, 통제하다. The government decided to restrict the sale of violent video games. Faction. Noun. 당파, 파벌. The political party split into two warring factions over the issue. Overcrowded. Adjective. 혼잡한, 초만원인. The city's public transport system is severely overcrowded during rush hour. Degradation. Noun. 저하, 악화, 환경 훼손. Deforestation leads to severe soil degradation and loss of biodiversity. Unchecked. Adjective. 억제되지 않은, 검토받지 않은.
The disease spread rapidly due to unchecked travel across borders. Hard cap. Noun. 엄격한 상한선. The league introduced a hard cap on player salaries. Draconian. Adjective. 매우 가혹한, 엄격한. The dictator imposed draconian laws to suppress any form of protest. Polarizing. Adjective. 양극화시키는, 편을 가르는. The debate over gun control remains a deeply polarizing issue. Vitality. Noun. 활력, 생명력. Regular exercise improves both your physical and mental vitality. 시사 용어 해설. Hard cap, 엄격한 상한선. 예외를 허용하지 않는 강력한 수치치를 뜻합니다. 스위스의 일부 우파 정당은 인구가 특정 숫자, 예를 들어 1,000만 명을 넘지 못하도록 헌법에 명시하자는 극단적인 주장을 펼치고 있습니다. 외국인 노동력, foreign labor force. 스위스는 고도의 금융 및 제약 산업뿐만 아니라 관광과 서비스업을 유지하기 위해 이민자 노동력에 크게 의존하고 있습니다. 인구 제한 법안은 곧 이민 억제로 이어져 경제에 큰 타격을 줄 수 있습니다.
4. The Korea Times. 4-1. 2026 FIFA World Cup kicks off as South Korea faces Czech Republic. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is officially in full swing, highlighted by an exciting Group A opening match between South Korea and the Czech Republic. The atmosphere outside Mexico's Guadalajara Stadium was incredibly vibrant, as passionate Korean fans donned traditional sombreros to celebrate the occasion. Prior to the kickoff, the official tournament mascots, representing the three host nations, posed for photos, energizing the diverse international crowd. This grand sporting event serves as a powerful symbol of continental unity spanning the United States, Canada, and Mexico. As Team Korea embarks on its journey, supporters worldwide are overflowing with immense national pride and anticipation. Vocabulary. In full swing. Idiom. 한창 진행 중인. By the time we arrived, the party was already in full swing. Vibrant. Adjective. 활기찬. 생동감 넘치는. The city's downtown is known for its vibrant nightlife and culture. Don. Verb. 옷, 모자 등을 입다, 쓰다. The surgeon washed his hands and donned a sterile gown. Occasion. Noun. 특별한 행사, 때. They dressed up elegantly for the special occasion. Energize. Verb. 활기를 불어넣다. A quick cup of coffee is enough to energize me in the morning. Diverse. Adjective. 다양한. The university prides itself on having a very diverse student body. Continental. Adjective. 대륙이. The new train line will boost continental trade and tourism. Unity. Noun. 통합, 통일성. The president's speech called for national unity in times of crisis. Embark on. Phrasal verb. 에 착수하다, 나서다. She is preparing to embark on a new career in digital marketing. Anticipation. Noun. 기대, 고대. The crowd waited in eager anticipation for the band to appear. 시사 용어 해설. Group A. 조별리그 A조. 월드컵 본선에 진출한 국가들을 추첨을 통해 나눈 그룹입니다. 이번 2026년 월드컵은 참가국이 32개국에서 48개국으로 대폭 늘어나면서 조편성 및 토너먼트 진출 방식이 크게 변경되었습니다. Host Nations. 개최국. 대회를 주최하는 국가를 뜻합니다. 한 대륙 전체의 화합을 도모하고 천문학적인 개최 비용을 분담하기 위해 미국, 캐나다, 멕시코 3개국이 공동으로 대회를 치르고 있습니다.
4.2. Historical Look Back. Singapore Summit Anniversary. The Korea Times Today in History section recently reflected on the groundbreaking Singapore Summit held on June 12, 2018. This historic event marked the very first time a sitting U.S. President Donald Trump met face-to-face with a North Korean leader, Kim Jong-un. The monumental handshake aimed to pave the way for the complete denuclearization of the Korean peninsula and to establish a lasting peace regime. Although subsequent negotiations have faced numerous stumbling blocks, the summit remains a potent symbol of bold diplomacy. observers still view that fleeting moment of bilateral engagement as a crucial reference point for future geopolitical strategies in East Asia. Vocabulary. Groundbreaking. Adjective. 획기적인, 신기원을 이룬. The scientists published a groundbreaking study on genetic editing. Sitting. Adjective. 현직이. He is the only sitting governor to face criminal charges in the state. Face-to-face. Adjective/adverb. 직접 대면하는. We need to have a face-to-face meeting to resolve this misunderstanding. Pave the way. Idiom. 길을 열다, 기반을 닦다. The new treaty will pave the way for increased international trade. Denuclearization. Noun. 비핵화. Denuclearization remains the ultimate goal of the six-party talks. Regime. Noun. 정권, 체제. The harsh military regime was eventually overthrown by the citizens. Stumbling block. Noun. 장애물, 걸림돌. Lack of funding was the main stumbling block for the startup's expansion. Potent. Adjective. 강력한, 효능이 있는. The photograph served as a potent reminder of the horrors of war. Fleeting. Adjective. 순식간에, 덧없는. She caught a fleeting glimpse of the rare bird before it flew away. Reference point. Noun. 기준점. The 2008 financial crisis is used as a reference point by many economists. Sitting president. 현직 대통령. 전직, former, 이나 당선인, president-elect, 신분이 아닌 현재 임기를 수행 중인 최고 권력자를 의미합니다. 현직 대통령이 적대국의 지도자를 만난다는 것은 국가 차원의 공식적인 인정과 협상 의지를 보여주는 막대한 외교적 의미를 갖습니다. 디뉴클리어화, 비핵화. 핵무기를 폐기하고 핵 개발 프로그램을 중단하는 것을 뜻합니다. 한반도의 외교 안보에서 가장 핵심적인 목표이자 국제사회의 공통된 과제입니다.
4.3. Historic protests in Hong Kong remembered. The Korea Times highlighted a pivotal moment in contemporary Asian history, the massive June 2019 protests in Hong Kong. Over 1 million citizens passionately marched through the streets to express their fierce opposition to a proposed extradition law. The controversial legislation would have allowed local criminal suspects to be transferred to mainland China for trial, sparking deep fears about the erosion of judicial independence. This unprecedented mobilization became one of the largest ever protests in the city, capturing global attention. Today, it stands as a profound reminder of the ongoing struggle for civil liberties and democratic autonomy in the region. Vocabulary. Pivotal. Adjective. 중추적인, 중요한. The discovery played a pivotal role in developing the new vaccine. Passionately. Adverb. 열정적으로, 격렬하게. She argued passionately in defense of human rights. Opposition. Noun. 반대, 항의. The controversial bill faced fierce opposition from various civil groups. Extradition. Noun. 범죄인 인도, 본국 송환. The country signed an extradition treaty to prevent criminals from hiding. Legislation. Noun. 제정 법률, 법안. The new environmental legislation aims to drastically cut carbon emissions. Suspect. Noun. Verb. 용의자, 의심하다. The police arrested a key suspect involved in the bank robbery. Erosion. Noun. 부식, 침식, 훼손. The continuous censorship led to a severe erosion of press freedom. Judicial. Adjective. 사법에, 재판에. The judicial system must remain completely independent from the government. Mobilization. Noun. 동원. The sudden war required a rapid mobilization of military troops. Autonomy. Noun. 자치권, 자율성.
The indigenous group is demanding greater political autonomy over their lands. 시사 용어 해설. 범죄인 인도 법안. 한 국가나 사복 관할 구역에서 도망친 범죄 용의자를 체포하여 본래 재판을 받아야 할 국가로 돌려보내는 법적 절차입니다. 홍콩 시민들은 이 법안이 중국 본토의 법적 탄압을 정당화하는 도구로 악용될 것을 우려했습니다. 사법권의 독립. 법원이 정치 권력이나 외부의 압력에 휘둘리지 않고 오직 법과 양심에 따라 공정하게 재판할 수 있는 권리를 뜻합니다. 자유민주주의 국가를 지탱하는 핵심 기딩입니다.
5. The Korea Herald. 5-1. Extreme heat warning as fans pack Gwanghwamun for World Cup opener. Thousands of enthusiastic soccer fans assembled at Gwanghwamun Square in central Seoul to participate in a massive street cheering event for South Korea's World Cup opener. Because the kickoff coincided with Friday morning commuter hours, city officials issued stark warnings about potential severe traffic congestion. Moreover, authorities urged attendees to take strict precautions against the extreme summer heat by wearing hats or utilizing parasols. The public viewing event, a fixture of Korean football culture since 2002, was carefully organized to balance national excitement with public safety. Medical teams and emergency personnel were heavily deployed to manage the scorching temperatures and the densely packed crowd. Vocabulary. Enthusiastic. Adjective. 열광적인, 열정적인. The enthusiastic crowd cheered loudly when the singer appeared. Assemble. Verb. 모이다, 집합하다. All students must assemble in the main hall for the announcement. Coincide with. Phrasal verb. 뭐뭐와 동시에 일어나다. Her graduation ceremony unfortunately coincides with my business trip. Stark. Adjective. 삭막한, 강력한, 냉혹한. The report provided a stark warning about the effects of climate change. Congestion. Noun. 혼잡, 체증. Heavy rain caused severe traffic congestion on the major highways. Precaution. Noun. 예방조치, 대비. You must take every precaution to ensure your data remains secure. Fixture. Noun. 고정물, 늘 있는 행사. The annual parade has become a permanent fixture of the town's culture. Deploy. Verb. 군대, 인력을 배치하다. The general decided to deploy additional troops to the border area. Scorching. Adjective. 찌는 듯이 더운. It was a scorching summer day, so we decided to stay indoors. Densely. Adverb. 빽빽하게, 밀집하여. The city is densely populated, causing housing shortages. 시사 용어 해설. Commuter hours. 통근 시간대. 직장인이나 학생들이 일찍이 일터나 학교로 향하는 rushhour를 뜻합니다. 대규모 군중 행사와 겹칠 경우 심각한 물류 및 이동의 마비를 초래합니다. Precautions against extreme heat. 폭염 대비 조치. 기후 변화로 인해 2월에도 극단적인 고온 현상이 잦아지면서 야외 밀집 행사에서 온열 질환 예방은 지자체의 가장 중요한 위기 관리 매뉴얼이 되었습니다. 5-2. 2026 World Cup sets records as the largest tournament. The 2026 FIFA World Cup has officially broken records as the largest tournament in the organization's long history. Co-hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico, the massive event features an expanded roster of 48 national teams and a staggering total of 104 matches. To accommodate this expansion, FIFA has introduced additional group stage fixtures and a brand new round of 32 in the knockout phase. Notably, the United States holds the lion's share of the hosting duties, staging 78 matches, including the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the final at MetLife Stadium. This monumental scaling aims to maximize global broadcasting revenue while diversifying the game's international footprint. Vocabulary. Organization. Noun. 조직, 기구. 여기선 FIFA. The international organization is dedicated to promoting human rights. Co-host. Verb. 공동 개최하다. Japan and South Korea successfully co-hosted the 2002 World Cup. Expanded. Adjective. 확장된, 확대된. The company launched an expanded version of its popular software. Roster. Noun. 명단, entity. The coach announced the final roster for the upcoming Olympic Games. Staggering. Adjective. 믿기 힘든, 엄청난.
The project's total cost reached a staggering $2 billion. Accommodate. Verb. 수용하다, 맞추다. The newly built stadium can easily accommodate over 50,000 spectators. Fixture. Noun. 정기적인 경기 일정. The weekend fixtures include a highly anticipated match between the rivals. Knockout phase. Noun. 토너먼트 결선 단계. The team was eliminated early in the knockout phase of the competition. Lion's share. Noun. 가장 큰 목, 대부분. The eldest son inherited the lion's share of the family's vast fortune. Footprint. Noun. 영향을 미치는 입지, 발자취. The tech giant is rapidly expanding its global digital footprint. 시사 용어 해설. Knockout phase. 토너먼트 결선 단계. 그룹에 속한 팀들이 돌아가며 싸우는 조별리그, 그룹 스테이지가 끝나고 짐팀은 바로 탈락하는 방식을 뜻합니다. 긴장감이 극대화되어 방송 중계권료의 가치가 치솟는 구간입니다. Broadcasting revenue, 중계권 수익, 월드컵, 올림픽 등 메가 스포츠 이벤트를 주관하는 기구, FIFA 등가 방송국의 독점 방영 권리를 팔아 벌어들이는 막대한 자본입니다. 경기 수를 104개로 늘린 가장 큰 경제적 이유이기도 합니다.
5-3. Lee Kang-in gearing up for match versus ex-club coach. In an intriguing subplot for the World Cup, South Korean midfield maestro Lee Kang-in is gearing up to face his former club coach, Javier Aguirre, who now manages the Mexican national team. It was under Aguirre's tactical guidance at the Spanish club RCD Mallorca that Lee showcased his immense playmaking potential during the 2022-2023 season. Aguirre had previously praised the South Korean as the most talented player in the squad, notably highlighting his lethal skills in one-on-one situations. Now, at age 25, Lee has blossomed into a creative force for Paris Saint-Germain and the national team. This dramatic reunion adds a fascinating emotional layer to the highly anticipated Group A fixture. Vocabulary. Intriguing. Adjective. 아주 흥미로운. The author's new novel has a highly intriguing plot. Subplot. Noun. 하위 plot. 부차적 이야기. The movie's romance serves as a nice subplot to the main action. Gear up. Phrasal verb. 준비를 갖추다. The factory is gearing up to increase production for the holiday season. Tactical. Adjective. 전술적인. The team's victory was the result of a brilliant tactical decision. Showcase. Verb. 선보이다, 전시하다. The festival is designed to showcase local artistic talent. Lethal. Adjective. 치명적인, 파괴적인. A rattlesnake's venom can be completely lethal if not treated quickly. Blossom. Verb. 꽃 피우다, 발전하다. With the right encouragement, the shy student blossomed into a confident leader. Creative force. Noun. 창조적인 원동력. She is recognized as the creative force behind the successful ad campaign. Reunion. Noun. 재회, 동창회. The college friends organized a happy reunion after 10 years apart. Layer. Noun. 층, 측면. His complex personality adds an interesting layer to his character. 시사용어 해설. 플레이메이킹 포텐셜. 플레이메이킹 잠재력. 축구에서 단순히 골을 넣는 것을 넘어 경기의 흐름을 조율하고 동료들에게 결정적인 패스를 찔러 넣어 공격을 창조해내는 능력을 뜻합니다. 서브플롯, 하위 서사, 사이드 스토리. 신문기사나 문학에서 주요 사건, 월드컵 경기 승패 이면에 숨겨진 인물들 간의 사적인 인연이나 뒷이야기를 의미합니다. 독자들의 흥미를 유발하는 훌륭한 저널리즘 기법입니다.
2-3. Police investigate theft of England equipment at World Cup. Local law enforcement authorities are actively investigating a disruptive theft involving equipment belonging to the England national football team during the 2026 World Cup. The English Football Association confirmed that the unfortunate incident occurred while the squad's belongings were being transported from a pre-training base in Florida to their permanent camp in Kansas City. Consequently, 2 individuals have been taken into police custody in connection with the crime.
Due to the ongoing investigation, officials have opted to withhold specific details regarding the stolen items. This unexpected logistical breach has added an element of off-pitch drama to the Three Lions campaign. Vocabulary. Law enforcement. Noun. 법집행기관, 경찰. Local law enforcement agencies are increasing patrols in the area. Disruptive. Adjective. 지장을 주는, 혼란을 일으키는. The disruptive behavior of a few students ruined the class. Theft. Noun. 절도, 도둑질. The store reported a significant rise in theft over the holidays. Unfortunate. Adjective. 불운한, 유감스러운. It is unfortunate that the outdoor concert was canceled due to rain. Transport. Verb. 운송하다, 수송하다. The goods are transported by train across the entire country. Custody. Noun. 유치, 구류, 법적 보호. The suspect was taken into custody for questioning by detectives. Opt. Verb. 선택하다, 고르다. She opted to stay at home rather than go to the crowded party. Withhold. Verb. 보류하다, 숨기다. The government decided to withhold the sensitive information. Logistical. Adjective. 물류에, 수송에. We faced several logistical challenges when organizing the massive event. Breach. Noun. 위반, 파괴, 선넘기. The data leak was caused by a severe security breach. 시사 용어 해설. In custody. 구금 상태. 형사사건 피의자가 재판 전이나 수사 중에 경찰서 유치장이나 구치소에 갇혀 있는 상태를 뜻하는 법률 용어입니다. Three Lions. 3사자 군단. 잉글랜드 축구 국가대표팀을 부르는 애칭입니다. 잉글랜드 축구협회 FA의 공식 로고에 국장을 상징하는 세 마리의 사자가 그려져 있는 데서 유래했습니다.
Number 6. 2. Mongolian president meets Chinese FM Wang Yi. Mongolian President Ukna Khurelsuk recently held a high-level meeting with Wang Yi, China's prominent foreign minister, in the capital city of Ulaanbaatar. During the strategic diplomatic encounter, the two leaders engaged in extensive discussions to bolster bilateral ties and deepen mutual trust. They primarily focused on enhancing cross-border cooperation in critical sectors, such as infrastructure development, energy trade, and regional connectivity. This diplomatic outreach is widely interpreted as part of Beijing's broader strategy to solidify its geopolitical influence among its immediate Asian neighbors. Ultimately, strengthening this alliance serves the economic and security interests of both developing nations. Vocabulary. Prominent. Adjective. 저명한, 두드러진. He is a prominent figure in the field of artificial intelligence. Encounter. Noun. Verb. 만남, 접촉, 마주치다. Her unexpected encounter with the CEO changed her career path. Bolster. Verb. 강화하다, 지지하다. The government introduced new measures to bolster the housing market. Bilateral. Adjective. 양자간에, 쌍방에. The two nations signed a bilateral trade agreement to lower tariffs. Cross-border. Adjective. 국경을 넘는, 국제적인. Cross-border online shopping has become extremely popular. Connectivity. Noun. 연결성. Upgrading the rail network will improve regional economic connectivity. Diplomatic outreach. Noun. 외교적 홍보, 접근. The president's diplomatic outreach to hostile nations surprised everyone. Interpret. Verb. 해석하다, 통역하다. His silence was interpreted as a sign of passive agreement. Solidify. Verb. 공고히 하다, 굳히다. The new business partnership will solidify our position in the market. Alliance. Noun. 동맹, 연합. The historical alliance between the two countries lasted for decades. 시사용어 해설. Foreign Minister, 외교부장, 외무장관. 한 국가의 외교 정책을 총괄하고 타국과의 협상을 이끄는 정부 부처의 최고 책임자입니다. 중국에서는 외교부장이 국가의 대외 전략을 실행하는 핵심 역할을 맡습니다. Geopolitical influence, 지정학적 영향력. 지리적인 위치가 국가의 정치, 경제, 군사 전략에 미치는 힘을 뜻합니다. 거대한 영토를 공유하는 중국과 몽골의 관계는 동북아시아 전체의 자원 공급망과 안보 지형에 큰 영향을 미칩니다. 6.3. Direct flight linking Beijing and Helsinki launched. Chinese airlines have officially launched a groundbreaking direct flight connecting Beijing's Daxing International Airport with the Finnish capital of Helsinki. Operated by China Southern Airlines, the new route currently runs round-trip services 3 times a week, dramatically reducing travel time for international passengers. Aviation officials noted that this establishes a vital new air corridor between China and the Nordic region. The enhanced connectivity is expected to significantly boost economic cooperation, tourism, and people-to-people exchanges. Given that Finland is a major trading partner with bilateral trade exceeding $8 billion, this infrastructure upgrade will heavily solidify their mutual economic interests. Vocabulary. Launch. Verb. 시작하다. 출시하다. The tech company plans to launch its new smartphone next month. Operate. Verb. 운영하다. 가동하다. The newly opened factory operates 24 hours a day to meet demand. Round trip. Noun. Adjective. 왕복여행. A round trip ticket to Europe is currently cheaper than a one-way fare. Dramatically. Adverb. 극적으로. 엄청나게. The introduction of antibiotics dramatically reduced mortality rates. Corridor. Noun. 복도. 회랑. 항공무역통로. The new trade corridor will drastically lower transportation costs. Connectivity. Noun. 연결성. Improved internet connectivity is crucial for modern businesses. Boost. Verb. 촉진하다. 밀어올리다. The unexpected tax cut helped boost consumer spending in retail. Exchange. Noun. 교환. 교류. Cultural exchanges help build understanding between different nations. Exceed. Verb. 초과하다. 넘어서다. The final cost of the building construction exceeded the initial budget. Mutual. Adjective. 상호 간에. 서로의. The agreement was reached based on mutual respect and understanding. Air corridor. 항공회랑. 통로. 지정학적으로 비행기가 안전하고 효율적으로 이동할 수 있도록 국가 간에 합의된 공중의 통로를 뜻합니다. 직항로 개설은 두 지역 간의 무역과 인적 교류를 폭발적으로 늘리는 가장 핵심적인 인프라입니다. Bilateral trade, 양자 간 무역, 두 나라 사이에 직접 이루어지는 수출과 수입의 총합을 말하며 핀란드가 북유럽에서 중국의 핵심 무역 파트너라는 점은 단순한 관광 노선 이상의 경제적 의미를 갖습니다. 7. NHK World Japan. 7-1. Darwin's Amazing Animals, The Alien Fish. NHK World's captivating wildlife documentary series, Darwin's Amazing Animals, recently highlighted a bizarre yet highly resilient marine creature nicknamed the alien fish. Found in the coastal waters of Los Angeles, this peculiar species measures a mere 20 centimeters in length, but possesses an incredibly tough demeanor. It skillfully utilizes its disproportionately large mouth to forcefully intimidate potential predators and protect its territory. Remarkably, the tiny fish does not hesitate to aggressively confront much larger intruders, including human scuba divers, to defend its humble shell dwelling. This fascinating segment offers a vivid glimpse into the aggressive evolutionary adaptations of small ocean life. Vocabulary. Captivating. Adjective. 매혹적인, 마음을 사로잡는. The movie features a captivating storyline that keeps you guessing. Bizarre. Adjective. 기이한, 특이한. She wore a bizarre outfit that drew everyone's attention at the party. Resilient. Adjective. 회복력 있는, 강인한. Children are often incredibly resilient when facing sudden changes. Peculiar. Adjective. 독특한, 이상한. The antique clock makes a peculiar noise every time it strikes noon. Demeanor. Noun. 태도, 처신, 품행. Despite the high-pressure situation, the doctor maintained a calm demeanor. Disproportionately. Adverb. 불균형적으로. The new tax law disproportionately affects low-income families. Intimidate. Verb. 위협하다, 겁주다. The massive guard dog was trained to carefully intimidate intruders. Predator. Noun. 포식자, 천적. The lion is known as an apex predator in the African savanna. Confront. Verb. 맞서다, 직면하다. It is healthier to directly confront your fears than to avoid them. Dwelling. Noun. 주거지, 은신처. The ancient tribe constructed their dwellings using mud and straw. 시사용어 해설. Evolutionary adaptation. 진화적 적응.
생물체가 오랜 세월에 걸쳐 자신이 처한 생태적 환경, 포식자의 위협, 먹이 부족 등에서 살아남기 위해 신체 구조나 행동 양식을 변화시켜온 과정을 뜻하는 생물학 용어입니다. territory, 영역, 영토. 국가 간의 영토를 의미하기도 하지만 동물 행동학에서는 생물이 자신의 보금자리나 사냥구역으로 설정하고 다른 개체의 침입을 적극적으로 막아내는 세력권을 뜻합니다.
7-2. South Korea fines Coupang over data leak. South Korean regulatory authorities have imposed a massive fine of $408 million on the e-commerce giant Coupang following a severe data leak incident. NHK World reported that the unprecedented penalty was issued as a direct consequence of the company's failure to adequately safeguard users' sensitive personal information. This stringent regulatory action underscores Seoul's growing intolerance for corporate negligence regarding cybersecurity and data privacy. Industry experts warn that the astronomical fine will significantly impact Coupang's financial margins and force an industry-wide overhaul of digital security infrastructure. It sends a clear global message that protecting consumer data is a mandatory legal obligation, not an option. Vocabulary. Impose. Verb. 세금 벌금을 부과하다. The government decided to impose strict tariffs on imported steel. Leak. Noun. Verb. 유출. 새는 곳. 새다. The plumber fixed the massive leak in the bathroom pipe. Consequence. Noun. 결과. 중요성. The sudden resignation of the CEO had serious financial consequences. Adequately. Adverb. 적절하게. 충분히. The building was not adequately designed to withstand strong earthquakes. Safeguard. Verb. 보호하다. 지키다. Banks use advanced encryption to safeguard their clients' financial assets. Stringent. Adjective. 엄격한. 가혹한. The airline has very stringent rules regarding carry-on luggage size. Intolerance. Noun. 참을 수 없음. 무관용. The new school principal showed zero intolerance for bullying. Negligence. Noun. 태만. 부주의. The devastating fire was caused by the sheer negligence of the management. Astronomical. Adjective. 천문학적인. 어마어마한. The cost to repair the damaged bridge reached an astronomical figure. Obligation. Noun. 의무, 책임. Every citizen has a legal obligation to pay their taxes honestly. 7-3. Seasoning the Seasons. Hamamatsu's Positive Spirit. NHK's cultural travel program, Seasoning the Seasons, invites viewers to explore Hamamatsu, beautifully branded as the sunny city with positive spirit. Located on Japan's Pacific coast, the city is renowned for its abundant sunshine and the warm, optimistic nature of its local residents. The documentary intimately delves into the daily lives of the people, showcasing how traditional festivals, fostered by the nation's long history, continue to thrive today. By highlighting the seamless blend of modern vitality and ancient customs, the show introduces the unique charm of Japanese regional culture. It perfectly illustrates how geographical climate heavily influences the cultural heartbeat of a local community. Vocabulary. Explore. Verb. 탐험하다. 탑사하다. We decided to rent bicycles to explore the beautiful countryside. Renowned. Adjective. 유명한. 명성 있는. The French restaurant is highly renowned for its exquisite desserts. Abundant. Adjective. 풍부한. 많은. The region is blessed with abundant natural resources, like coal. Optimistic. Adjective. 낙관적인. 긍정적인. Despite the initial failures, she remained highly optimistic about the project. Intimately. Adverb. 내미하게. 친밀하게. The biography intimately describes the artist's struggle with depression. Delve into. Phrasal verb. 뭐뭐를 깊이 파고들다. The investigative journalist decided to delve into the corruption scandal. Foster. Verb. 조성하다. 키우다. The teacher tried to foster a sense of curiosity among her young students. Thrive. Verb. 번창하다. 잘 자라다. The small startup managed to thrive despite heavy market competition. Seamless. Adjective. 매끄러운. 이음새 없는. The software update provided a seamless transition for all users. Geographical. Adjective. 지리적인. 지리하게. The isolated village's geographical location makes it difficult to access. 시사회화 해설. Regional culture. 지역 문화.
로컬 문화. 수도권 중심의 획일화된 문화가 아닌 각 지방 특유의 기후, 토양, 역사적 배경을 바탕으로 형성된 독자적인 생활 양식이나 축제를 의미합니다. 인구 감소 시대를 맞아 지역 경제를 살리는 핵심 관광 자원으로 부상하고 있습니다.
8. AlJazeera.com. 8.1. UK court jails Palestine action activists over Israeli arms factory raid. A UK court has handed down strict jail sentences to 4 pro-Palestine activists involved in a disruptive raid on an Israeli arms factory near Bristol. The individuals, representing the protest group Palestine Action, physically breached the facility with the explicit aim to dismantle drones and weaponry. They passionately argued in court that these exact manufactured weapons were destined to be used against civilians in Gaza. However, the judge ruled that their destructive actions crossed the legal line from peaceful protest into criminal damage. This highly publicized verdict exposes the escalating legal tensions between ideological activism and the protection of private industrial property. Vocabulary. Hand down. Phrasal verb. 판결을 내리다. The Supreme Court handed down a landmark ruling on civil rights. Activist. Noun. 운동가, 활동가. The environmental activist chained herself to a tree to stop the logging. Disruptive. Adjective. 지장을 주는 소란스러운. The disruptive behavior of a few students ruined the class. Raid. Noun, verb. 습격, 급습. 급습하다. The police conducted a dawn raid on the suspected drug dealer's house. Dismantle. Verb. 분해하다, 해체하다. The mechanics had to completely dismantle the engine to find the fault. Weaponry. Noun. 무기류. The museum displays a wide range of medieval weaponry and armor. Destined. Adjective. 모모할 운명인 행해. The shipment of medical supplies is destined for the disaster zone. Destructive. Adjective. 파괴적인. The destructive power of a Category 5 hurricane is truly terrifying. Verdict. Noun. 배심원단 판사의 판결, 판결. The jury reached a unanimous guilty verdict after 3 hours of debate. Escalating. Adjective. 고조되는, 확대된. The escalating costs of healthcare have become a major political issue. 시사용어 해설. Pro-Palestine, 신팔레스타인. 이스라엘 하마스 전쟁 상황에서 팔레스타인 민간인들의 인권과 생존권을 옹호하고 이스라엘의 군사작전을 반대하는 정치적 입장을 의미합니다. Pro는 찬성 옹호, anti는 반대를 뜻하는 적부사임. Criminal damage, 형사적 기물 파손. 시위의 목적이 아무리 도덕적이라 할지라도 타인이나 기업의 재산, 건물, 장비 등을 고의로 부수거나 훼손하면 성립하는 범죄 형이. 8-2. Deadly military plane crash in India's Assam. A devastating aviation disaster recently struck India's northeastern state of Assam when a military transport aircraft crashed during a routine flight. Military authorities confirmed that the fatal accident immediately killed at least 5 personnel on board the plane. Footage from the remote crash site showed emergency responders frantically combing through the charred wreckage to recover the victims. While an official inquiry has been launched to determine the precise cause, the incident has reignited long-standing concerns regarding the country's aging military fleet. Consequently, critics are strongly urging the government to modernize aviation safety protocols to prevent future tragedies. 8-3. The U.S. border runs straight through the World Cup. A hard-hitting opinion piece by Al Jazeera sharply critiques the blatant hypocrisy surrounding the 2026 FIFA World Cup co-hosted by North America. While the tournament ostensibly promises a joyful display of continental unity, it simultaneously exposes the harsh political reality of Fortress America. The author vigorously argues that the United States' overzealous visa restrictions, stringent travel bans, and heavily militarized borders completely shatter the illusion of international camaraderie. Treating desperate economic refugees with hostility while superficially celebrating global diversity reveals a profound double standard. Ultimately, the column emphasizes that the socio-economic exclusivity of the host nations overshadows the beautiful game. Vocabulary. Hard-hitting. Adjective. 비판 보도가 강력한, 신랄한. The newspaper published a hard-hitting expose on political corruption. Blatant. Adjective. 노골적인, 뻔뻔스러운. It was a blatant lie, yet he told it with absolute confidence.
Hypocrisy. Noun. 위선. Criticizing others for mistakes you also make is pure hypocrisy. Ostensibly. Adverb. 표면상으로, 명목상으로. The meeting was ostensibly about the budget, but actually about layoffs. Overzealous. Adjective. 지나치게 열성적인. The overzealous security guard checked every single person's bag twice. Militarized. Adjective. 군사화된. The once peaceful border has now become a heavily militarized zone. Shatter. Verb. 산산조각 내다, 부수다. The loud explosion shattered all the windows in the building. Camaraderie. Noun. 동지애, 우정. The tough military training fostered a deep camaraderie among the soldiers. Superficially. Adverb. 피상적으로, 겉으로만. The book superficially covers the history but ignores the deep details. Double standard. Noun. 이중잣대. Punishing one employee while excusing another for the same error is a double standard. 시사용어 해설. Fortress America. 요새화된 미국. 과거 고립주의 시절부터 이어진 개념으로 미국이 이민자, 테러 등 외부의 위협으로부터 자국을 보호하기 위해 국경 장벽을 높이고 비자 발급을 까다롭게 통제하는 배타적 안보 정책을 비판적으로 일컫는 용어입니다. Economic refugees. 경제적 난민. 정치적 박해나 전쟁이 아닌 극도의 가난과 기아를 피해 생존을 목적으로 다른 나라, 주로 미국 등 선진국으로 이주하려는 사람들을 뜻합니다.
9. CBC Canada. 9. 1. Vancouver issues warnings as heat wave hits during World Cup. Metro Vancouver is currently bracing for an intense weather phenomenon that utility provider BC Hydro describes as a severe heat wave. With inland temperatures forecasted to reach a blistering 31°C, the extreme weather unfortunately coincides with widespread FIFA World Cup viewing parties and massive public gatherings. Consequently, authorities have urgently warned that the regional demand for electricity is expected to climb to historic highs. To proactively prevent an overload of the grid, BC Hydro has canceled or shortened planned maintenance outages to guarantee an uninterrupted power supply. This scenario starkly highlights the infrastructural vulnerabilities modern cities face amid climate change. Vocabulary. Brace for. Phrasal verb. 에 대비하다. 주로 나쁜 일. Residents were advised to brace for the incoming Category 5 hurricane. Utility. Noun. 공공서비스. 전기, 가스, 수도. The local utility company announced an increase in electricity rates. Blistering. Adjective. 맹렬히 더운, 물집이 생길 듯한. We walked for miles under the blistering midday sun. Coincide with. Phrasal verb. 과 겹치다, 동시에 일어나다. Her vacation perfectly coincided with the town's famous summer festival. Widespread. Adjective. 광범위한, 널리 퍼진. The new government policy received widespread support from the public. Proactively. Adverb. 선제적으로, 주도적으로. The team proactively solved the problem before the client even noticed it. Overload. Noun. Verb. 과부하, 너무 많이 씻다. Plugging in too many appliances caused a dangerous electrical overload. Outage. Noun. 정전, 단수. A severe winter storm caused massive power outages across the state. Uninterrupted. Adjective. 끊임없는, 연속된. The hospital requires an uninterrupted power supply for its emergency rooms. Vulnerability. Noun. 취약성. The cyber attack exposed a critical vulnerability in the company's network. 시사용어 해설. Grid. Power grid. 전력망. 발전소에서 만들어진 전기를 가정이나 공장으로 전달하는 거대한 송전 및 배전 네트워크를 뜻합니다. 에어컨 등 전기 사용량이 폭증하여 전력망이 견디지 못하면 대규모 정전, blackout가 발생합니다. Planned maintenance. 계획된 유지 보수. 전력회사가 설비 고장을 막기 위해 사전에 날짜를 정해두고 일부 지역의 전기를 차단한 뒤 시설을 수리하는 작업입니다. 폭염 위기 시에는 전력 공급 최우선을 위해 이를 연기합니다. 9-2. World Cup excitement in Toronto as Canada draws Bosnia against Bosnia and Herzegovina. Excitement reached a fever pitch at Toronto Stadium as Canada's highly anticipated first FIFA World Cup 2026 match ended in a thrilling 1-1 draw against Bosnia and Herzegovina. Deafening cheers erupted from the massive home crowd when Canadian forward Sile Larin spectacularly scored the equalizing goal to secure an equalizing point. This match effectively ignited the World Cup spirit across the host city, with local bars and public viewing areas packed with passionate supporters donning red jerseys. As the tournament continues to captivate the nation, the Canadian squad is now shifting its intensive focus to their upcoming crucial match against Qatar. Vocabulary: fever pitch, 명사구, 흥분 최고조, 열광. The excitement in the arena reached a fever pitch before the concert started. Thrilling. Adjective. 아주 신나는, 짜릿한. The roller coaster ride was absolutely thrilling from start to finish. Draw. Noun. Verb. 무승부, 비기다. After 90 minutes of tough play, the match ended in a 0-0 draw. Deafening. Adjective. 귀가 터질 듯한, 매우 시끄러운. The explosion produced a deafening noise that shook the windows. Erupt. Verb. 분출하다, 터져나오다. The crowd erupted in laughter after the comedian's brilliant joke. Spectacularly. Adverb. 장관을 이루며, 극적으로. The fireworks exploded spectacularly over the dark night sky. Equalizing goal. 명사구. 동점골. He scored a dramatic equalizing goal in the final minute of the game. Ignite. Verb. 불을 붙이다, 점화하다. The politician's speech ignited a wave of protests across the capital. Captivate. Verb. 마음을 사로잡다. The magician's incredible tricks captivated the audience. Crucial. Adjective. 매우 중요한, 결정적인. This upcoming meeting is crucial for the survival of the company. 시사용어 해설. Equalizing goal. 동점골. 축구 등 스포츠 경기에서 지고 있던 팀이 점수의 균형, equal을 맞추기 위해 넣는 골입니다. 호스트 시티, 개최도시. 올림픽이나 월드컵 등 대규모 국제 행사가 실제로 치러지는 도시를 의미합니다. 이번 대회는 미국, 캐나다, 멕시코의 16개 도시에서 분산 개최되며 토론토는 캐나다의 핵심 개최도시입니다. 9-3. TransLink preparations for World Cup in Vancouver. In preparation for the massive influx of international tourists for the World Cup, Vancouver's transit authority, TransLink, has rolled out creative initiatives to enhance the visitor experience. Commuters can now purchase a unique soccer ball-shaped keychain equipped with a built-in compass card for seamless tap-and-pay transit access. Adding to the festive atmosphere, Canadian soccer legend Christine Sinclair has recorded special public announcements that will play across the transit system throughout the tournament. However, amidst the brewing excitement, some visitors have publicly expressed valid concerns over how the global event has drastically inflated local accommodation prices, making the city alarmingly expensive. Vocabulary. Influx. Noun. 유입. 밀어닥침. The warm weather brought a massive influx of tourists to the beach. Transit. Noun. 환승. 대중교통. The city invested heavily in upgrading its public transit system. Rollout. Phrasal verb. 신상품 등을 출시하다. The tech giant plans to roll out its new operating system next week. Initiative. Noun. 새로운 계획. Initiative. The new green initiative aims to reduce carbon emissions by 20%. Seamless. Adjective. 매끄러운, 이음새 없는. The software update provided a seamless transition for all users. Festive. Adjective. 축제에, 즐거운. The streets were decorated with colorful lights, creating a festive mood. Announcement. Noun. 발표, 안내방송. Listen carefully to the announcement regarding the flight delay. Valid. Adjective. 타당한, 유효한. You must have a valid passport to travel internationally. Inflate. Verb. 부풀리다, 가격을 올리다. The high demand during the holiday season severely inflated hotel prices. Accommodation. Noun. 숙박시설. We struggled to find cheap accommodation near the city center. 시사용어 해설. Transit authority. 대중교통 당국.
한 지역이나 국가의 버스, 지하철 등 공공교통 시스템을 기획하고 운영하는 행정부서나 공기업을 의미합니다. 예, 밴쿠버의 트랜슬링크. Inflated prices, 부풀려진 가격, 바가지 요금. 월드컵, 올림픽과 같은 초대형 행사가 열릴 때 수요가 공급을 크게 초과하면서 숙박비와 식비가 비정상적으로 치솟는 경제 현상을 뜻합니다.
10. DD India. ddindia.co.in. 10.1. PM Modi and French President Macron to inaugurate Bharat Innovates 2026. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in Nice, France, embarking on a highly strategic diplomatic tour focused on technological partnerships. Alongside French President Emmanuel Macron, Modi will jointly inaugurate Bharat Innovates 2026, a landmark summit organized under the ambitious India-France Year of Innovation. This high-profile event is heavily expected to deepen India's active engagement with global innovation networks. Furthermore, it strategically aims to reinforce the nation's rapidly emerging position as a premier international hub for technology-driven economic growth and digital entrepreneurship. This bilateral cooperation clearly highlights the shifting global dynamics where emerging economies are asserting dominance in high-tech sectors. Vocabulary. Inaugurate. Verb. 개막하다, 취임하게 하다. The mayor will inaugurate the new public library next Monday. Strategic. Adjective. 전략적인. Finding a reliable local partner is a highly strategic move for the business. Landmark. Noun. Adjective. 획기적인 사건, 기념비적인. The invention of the smartphone was a landmark moment in tech history. Ambitious. Adjective. 야심찬. The company revealed an ambitious plan to completely eliminate plastic use. High profile. Adjective. 세간의 이목을 끄는. The high-profile court case was broadcasted live on national television. Engagement. Noun. 참여, 관여. The school encourages active engagement from parents in educational activities. Reinforce. Verb. 강화하다, 보강하다. The latest test results reinforce the scientists' original hypothesis. Premier. Adjective. 최고의, 제1의. She is recognized as one of the premier experts in artificial intelligence. Entrepreneurship. Noun. 기업가 정신, 창업. The university offers various programs to promote student entrepreneurship. Assert. Verb. 확고히 하다, 강력히 주장하다. The country is trying to assert its military dominance in the region. Bharat. Noun. 인도. The company revealed an ambitious plan to completely eliminate plastic use. Technology-driven growth. Noun. 기술 주도 성장. Number 10. 2. FIFA World Cup. Morocco frustrate Brazil in Group C. In a highly anticipated Group C clash at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, Brazil and Morocco played out a grueling 1-1 draw on Saturday. Sixth-ranked Brazil, widely regarded as perennial title challengers and a South American giant, heavily relied on their star-studded attacking trio. However, the resilient Moroccan squad effectively frustrated their opponents, utilizing the exceptional defensive skills of goalkeeper Yassine Bounou and captain Achraf Hakimi to halt the Brazilian advance. Neither side was able to gain a decisive upper hand during the intense contest. Sports analysts suggest that this fierce opening match provides a crucial early indication of the competitive hierarchy within the group. Vocabulary. Clash. Noun. Verb. 충돌. 맞대결. The violent clash between protesters and police lasted for hours. Grueling. Adjective. 녹초로 만드는. 엄한. The runners completed a grueling 42-kilometer marathon in the heat. Perennial. Adjective. 영원한. 단연생애. The team is a perennial favorite to win the national championship. Star-studded. Adjective. star들이 대거 출연하는. The director's new movie features a star-studded cast from Hollywood. Resilient. Adjective. 회복력 있는, 탄력 있는. The resilient economy bounced back quickly after the financial crisis. Frustrate. Verb. 좌절시키다, 방해하다. The strict regulations frustrated the startup's attempts to expand overseas. Halt. Verb. 멈추다, 중단시키다. The referee immediately halted the game due to a severe thunderstorm. Decisive. Adjective. 결정적인, 결단력 있는. The general's decisive actions saved the troops from an enemy ambush. Upper hand.
Noun, 우위, 유리한 입장. The home team slowly gained the upper hand in the second half. Hierarchy, noun, 계급, 서열. The corporate hierarchy makes it difficult for junior staff to speak up. 시사 용어 해설. Title challenger, 우승 후보, 타이틀 도전자. 스포츠 대회에서 최종 우승, 타이틀을 차지할 확률이 매우 높은 강팀을 가리키는 표현입니다. 브라질은 월드컵에서 가장 많은 우승컵을 들어올린 국가로 항상 이 수식어가 붙습니다. Upper hand, 유리한 고지, 우세. 상대방보다 더 나은 조건이나 통제력을 가질 때 사용하는 관용구입니다. 외교 협상이나 비즈니스 경쟁, 스포츠 경기 등에서 우위를 점하다, gain the upper hand라는 형태로 자주 쓰입니다.
10.3. Al Hind Tours and Travels takes over passport services in UAE. The Embassy of India in Abu Dhabi has officially announced a significant administrative change regarding outsourced consular services across the United Arab Emirates. Starting from July 1st, Al Hind Tours and Travels will take full responsibility for handling all Indian passport, visa, and consular processing operations. This transition effectively replaces the current service providers, BLS International Services Limited and SGIVS Global. For the massive population of Indian expatriates living and working in the Middle East, seamless access to reliable diplomatic documentation is absolutely crucial. The embassy stated that this strategic shift is intended to heavily streamline bureaucratic processes and substantially improve the overall quality of citizen services. Vocabulary. Administrative. Adjective. 행정적인. 관리의. The manager was overwhelmed by the sheer volume of administrative tasks. Outsource. Verb. 외주를 주다. 위탁하다. To cut operational costs, the company decided to outsource its customer service. Consular. Adjective. 영사의. 영사관의. You need to visit the consular office to renew your expired passport. Handling. Noun. 처리. 다루기. The courier company apologized for the rough handling of the fragile package. Transition. Noun. 전환. 이행. The smooth transition of power is essential for a stable democracy. Replace. Verb. 대체하다. 대신하다. The old, inefficient machinery was finally replaced by automated robots. Expatriate. Noun. 국외 거주자. 파견 근무자. The city has a large community of expatriates working in the oil industry. Crucial. Adjective. 결정적인. 중대한. Vitamins and minerals are absolutely crucial for maintaining good health. Streamline. Verb. 시스템 등을 능률화하다, 간소화하다. The new software was introduced to streamline the inventory management process. Bureaucratic. Adjective. 관료적인, 절차가 복잡한. Getting a simple building permit often involves highly bureaucratic procedures. 시사 용어 해설. Consular services, 영사 서비스. 대사관이나 영사관이 자국 국민을 위해 제공하는 여권 발급, 비자 업무, 혼인, 출생 신고, 자국민 보호 등의 행정 업무를 말합니다. 수요가 많은 국가에서는 이를 민간 여행사나 전문기관에 위탁, 아웃소스하여 처리 속도를 높입니다. expatriate, 해외 거주자, 교민. 줄여서 expat이라고도 부르며 원래 국적을 가진 나라를 떠나 다른 나라에서 경제활동을 하며 살아가는 사람들을 지칭합니다. 중동의 오일머니 국가들은 인프라 건설을 위해 인도, 파키스탄 등 남아시아 노동자들의 비율이 매우 높습니다.